In this video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 secrets that I use when I am working with dark hair and blonde me. You're going to get a lot out of this video, and I have a bonus tip, and that tip you want to stick around to the end too because it is a game changer. What's up guys? I'm Maureen Moody and I'm the Curious Stylist, and I want to build your confidence in your career through education and science. So if you're curious, stick around. Before I start this video, I just want to go over with you guys just 1 or 2 things. I am talking to hairstylists, and so I'm kind of going on the idea that you guys have had some history. When you are working with blonde me is no joke, so please be careful. But that being said, just keep in mind I'm talking to hairstylists, people that have worked with stuff and know how to work with hair. So, secret number 1, not all hair is created the same. I find that Asian hair types, so people like from the Philippines and Japan and Korea and China, their hair is a lot like steel. It's very coarse. They might not have a ton of it, it might be fine. I've had some girls that are a little on the finer side, like they don't have as much density of hair, but their hair is extremely strong. This is when I am going to use a 20 or a 30 volume. And when I'm working with somebody that is got dark Asian hair, I'm gonna use a 20 or 30 volume. Now, if I'm working with somebody that is like Indian descent, they have a lot more red undertone. It's a completely different game. Sometimes you can lift 7 levels, but sometimes you can't. So keep that in mind. You wanna under promise and over deliver. Tip number 1. So when you are doing darker hair, you want to mix in smaller batches. So I only mix about 30 grams of lightener, and I do that all the time. You have to keep in mind, when you work in smaller batches, it is much better because it keeps the lightener and the peroxide fresh and strong. After about 30 to 40 minutes of working, like the product stops working as effectively because the peroxide has basically lived its life in the lightener. The only thing that's now moving the lightener forward is just time. Lightener by itself will lift. So after, an hour, 2 hours, it's not running on that 30 or 20 volume. It's now just the power of the lightener by itself. So smaller batches is gonna keep it fresh and strong so that you can get through the hair. So that is my tip number 2 to a batch. So if I'm mixing 30 grams of Blonde Me, I'm gonna end up using 45 grams of 20 volume or 30 volume. And when I apply that 20 or 30 volume, especially if I'm gonna apply it to the regrowth area, like right at the top, I'm gonna feather that on. You wanna be very careful with how you apply that because you wanna make sure that you don't oversaturate those roots because at 20 and 30 volume, keep in mind that product is going to swell no matter how hard you try, it will. It is strong lightener, but it's a powerful one. It does swell. So just keep that in mind. Don't oversaturate it. Remember what I said? If you haven't seen 5 reasons why I think foil boards are awesome, can you do me a favor? If you are finding value in this content, please smash the like button and subscribe. I make weekly videos. Tip number 3, when you are working with dark hair, the finer the section, the more isolation, the better the lift. So if you're gonna put that hair in a foil, the thinner the section is, the better and the more the lift. It's just how it works. So that's my tip number 3. Tip number 4 is tied to tip number 3. When you are doing dark hair and you use a foil board, you are gonna get a more even and consistent application. This is gonna help you in the end results. So I'll be honest with you, I won't do another foil again without my foil board, especially when I'm using Blondme. It is, I find that the foil board, if I'm using Blondme, the foil board and the slanted brush, I cannot live without them. The slanted brush is gonna help me not oversaturate the ends, and the foil board is gonna give me a more consistent and even result. When I tell you, when you are doing dark hair, every little detail matters. So the foil board is a must-have, in my opinion anyway. Tip number 5, don't swirl the hair at the end of the foil. If you're working with really long, dark hair, you don't wanna take that hair, lay it on there, and then swirl it up into the foil. It's going to cause the hair to have like dark spots in it that aren't going to be quite as even and consistent. You can fold the hair up, but don't swirl it into the foil. Fold the hair up, don't swirl it. Gives a much better and even consistent result. My bonus tip is when you are doing dark hair, you want to make sure that you have them clarify their hair the night before they come in. It is super important. It's really gonna help with the lifting. That is why this bonus tip makes all the difference. All those conditioning agents and the dry oils and the silicone, all that stuff, and if their hair is dirty from like a week of not washing it, all of that is going to affect the end result. That lightener has to kind of eat through all of that in order to lift. So if they come in with clarified hair, I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. Have them clarify their hair, or have them come in. A lot of times if I'm working with somebody that is Filipino or Korean or Japanese, I will send them home with a bottle of clarifying shampoo and tell them to clarify the night before they come in to get their hair. That is gonna help to strip all the buildup that they have on their hair. So that was my top 5 secrets for working with dark hair.